world is divided into two kingdoms, the Kingdom of White, which floats in the heavens and is ruled by its queen, and the Kingdom of Black, which stands on barren land below and is ruled by the King of Darkness. The story begins when the Queen of the White Kingdom faces the forces of darkness to protect the parent rune at all costs. On the other hand, our main protagonist, whose name is never mentioned, so we'll just call him the young boy, grabs his tools to be of help to his village. Suddenly, a villager comes running, saying that some demonic creatures are closing in on the village. For that reason, the adults ask the young boy to take the children to the top of the hill to protect them, so that the adults can fight against the beasts. While taking the children to the mountain, a centipede-like monster appears and attacks them. Unfortunately, the young boy couldn't face the beast because the creature's skin was very hard, and his sword could not cut it. The monster centipede manages to kill several children, but the young boy manages to save one. Although in the end, the little child died from the poison of the centipede. When the young boy returns to his village, he finds the place completely destroyed, and all the villagers were killed during the fight against the beasts of darkness. Several days have passed. A man wearing armor, called Skier, arrives at the village, where he meets the young boy. He asks him if there is a village nearby, to which he replies that there used to be one, but it was destroyed by monsters. Skier then asked the young boy what he was doing, and he told him that he was digging the graves for the dead villagers. Suddenly, the young boy falls down exhausted from digging for several days. Seeing that, Skier tells him that he should rest and eat something. The young boy tells him that he doesn't have time for that. However, Skier takes out a loaf of bread and gives it to the young boy, who without hesitation takes the bread and eats it. They then both started talking. During the conversation, the young boy mentions that for him, both the Kingdom of Light and Darkness belong to the same world, and they need to be maintained to keep the balance of the planet. Also telling Skier that his greatest wish is for everyone on Earth to be happy. Skier tells him that to achieve this goal, he must become strong. He gives him a sword and tells him to fight him. During their fight, the young boy comments that although his goal is difficult, he wants to change the kingdom so that innocents stop dying. Hearing that, Skier tells him that if he wants to make a real change, he must become the King of the Dark Kingdom. Skier reveals to the young boy that he was a candidate for the King of Darkness, but was defeated. After several clashes with their swords, the young boy manages to take down the Skier sword. Suddenly, Skier falls to the ground and comments that he will soon die, since he recently faced the King of Darkness but lost, and was very badly injured. Before dying, he gave the young boy his sword and told him to go to the capital of the Dark Kingdom and search for a man called Valus. He accepted the offer and traveled to the Dark Kingdom with the aim of becoming the next King of Darkness. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of White, the Queen, called Iris, faces off against some evil creatures. During the fight, the Queen borrows strength from the parent rune, which is a magical artifact with an unlimited source of power, and succeeds in defeating the creatures of darkness. But unfortunately, the monsters immediately came back to life and started attacking. A man, called Fuse, who is the commander of the Queen's army, came and assisted her, and they were able to defeat them completely. A few days later, the young boy arrives at the capital of the Black Kingdom and was able to find Valus. Valus asks the young boy where he got the sword from, to which he replies that the person who gave him the sword is dead. Valus immediately attacked him, realizing it wasn't his doing. That same night, the White Kingdom was being attacked by a monster called Ball, a winged creature covered with armor. Iris immediately left the castle to confront the beast. Ball destroyed several buildings. Then, the King of the Elves, called Alantia, uses his magic to attack Ball, but he is unable to inflict any damage. Losing all hope, Alantia prepares himself for death. But suddenly, Queen Iris comes to his rescue and fights Ball. During their fight, she did her best to use her magic on Ball, but was still no match for the great beast. Overwhelmed by the situation, Iris wanted to use the power of the parent rune, but was warned by Alantia not to use it because it would cause the rune to become unstable and eventually cause a catastrophe. Upon realizing Iris was no match for him, Ball became disappointed and left the battle. Some days after the battle, a young girl, called Groza, is exploring the Dark Kingdom along with her escorts. Suddenly, they are attacked by some monsters, and she uses her incredible powers to defeat them. However, one of the monsters survives and sneakily attacks her from behind. The young boy manages to kill the beast, thus saving her life. She thanked him and asked who he was, and he replies that he was a candidate for the Throne of Darkness. Groza invites the young boy to a bar to chat. During the conversation, she invites him to compete with the other successors, since if he manages to position himself as the #1 successor, he will be awarded the Great Black Sword, and will be recognized by everyone as the rightful Prince of Darkness and successor to the king. The young boy accepts the offer and leaves for the competition a few days later. Before leaving, he asks Valis if he is going to watch the tournament. Valis tells him no because he must tend to the king, and gives him words of encouragement. Upon hearing this, the young boy thanks him and leaves for the competition. At the competition arena, Groza explains the rules of the tournament and how to win. The first round consists of them fighting monsters, and whoever wins the first round will advance to the second round, and the winner of the tournament will be given the legendary black sword. After she finished explaining, the tournament began. Not long after, the young boy managed to win the first round and reach the finals. In the finals, he will be fighting against a boy called Adele. After taking a break, they resume with the competition, and after some intense fighting, the young boy wins the fight and was awarded the legendary Black Sword, and is deemed the successor to the Throne of Darkness. After the tournament, Valis meets the young boy and congratulates him on winning the tournament. After congratulating him, he gives him a very important mission, a task that only the Dark Prince can fulfill. The mission is to deliver a letter to the Queen of Light. He accepts the task and will be accompanied by Adele and Groza. The next day, Adele and the young boy travel to the Kingdom of Light with a magic ship. Upon arrival, a knight called Fuse welcomes them but behaves in a hostile manner toward them. But Adele, being a smooth talker, uses his skills to calm things down. With the situation being less tense, Adele asks Fuse to take them to the Queen to deliver a letter sent from their king. Fuse becomes suspicious of them, but still decides to guide them to the Queen. The Queen welcomes them and receives the letter. Inside the letter, it is revealed that the King of Darkness wants to form an alliance with the Queen to defeat Baal. The Queen doesn't know whether to accept the alliance, since she does not trust the King of Darkness. Because of that, the Queen asks them for some time to think about it. The next day, they met with the Queen at her palace. She asks the young boy why an alliance would be good for them, and he replies that it will be very beneficial for both sides and help save many lives. Hearing his response, she ends up accepting the pact. Thus, the Kingdom of Light and the Kingdom of Darkness join forces to defeat Baal. The next day, the Queen of Light heads to the Kingdom of Darkness to aid them. Meanwhile, the Black Kingdom army prepares for battle, but while waiting for Baal, he suddenly appears out of nowhere and begins causing havoc. The Dark Army gives their all to face the beast, but still couldn't contain it, so unfortunately they were defeated, which left only Valis and Groza on the battlefield, and about to be killed by Baal. However, the King of Darkness manages to save them just in time. Baal and the King start to fight, but due to Baal's incredible power, the King of Darkness couldn't do any harm to him. When the King of Darkness was about to be defeated, the Queen of Light appeared and uses her magic to restrain Baal, and they managed to seal him in a volcano. After the battle, Groza was sent by Valis to deliver another letter to the Queen. She delivered the letter, and inside it, we discover that the King of Darkness wants to extend their alliance, at least until they both recover from the battle against Baal. On their way back to the Kingdom of Black, Adele began acting strangely and tried to kill the Queen, but was cut down by the young boy just in time to save her life. Enraged by what had just occurred, Fuse arrested the young boy for plotting to kill the Queen. Groza has no choice but to leave him behind and return to their kingdom. While in prison, a white cat visited the young boy and helped him escape. The white cat was revealed to be the Queen. After reverting to her human form, they exchanged words and promised to make their world a peaceful and better place to live in. A few days later, after the attempted assassination of the Queen, they prepare for war against the Kingdom of Black. During their preparation for the war, Fuse sets out to find a cure for the Queen, in order to restore her magic core after exhausting it during her fight against Baal. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Darkness, the young boy started training with Valis and asked him how he felt about the upcoming war with the White Kingdom, to which he replied saying there was nothing they could do about it. Their conversation was cut short when Groza came running with a message from the king, stating that he wanted her and the young boy to go and defeat a monster that might cause a problem for their kingdom. They both left for the site where the supposed monster might be, and after killing some weak monsters and letting down their guard, Groza was suddenly attacked by a giant bee-like monster and slipped into a deep hole. Luckily, she was saved by the young boy, but now they're stuck inside the hole. Suddenly, a giant monster appears and attacks them. The monster proves to be strong, but in the end the monster is defeated. Meanwhile, in the White Kingdom they were under attack by the Dark Kingdom army. Seeing that her kingdom was being destroyed, she used her last bit of magical strength to create a barrier to protect her kingdom. As a result, she collapsed and was on the verge of death. Fuse returned in the nick of time with the cure to save the Queen's life and restore her power and magic core. She soon recovers and leads a counterattack against the enemy forces. Amid the battle, the King of Darkness finally appeared and was approached by the Queen of White. They exchanged a few words and then began to fight it out. The King of Darkness manages to gain the upper hand in their fight. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Black, the young boy was engaged in a battle with Adele. who had somehow come back to life and was now his enemy. They exchange clashes, and the young boy ends up emerging victorious. Before dying, he tells the young boy that it was the king's idea to keep him away from the battlefield, so that they could carry out their plan to kill the queen. When the young boy hears this, he rushes to the kingdom of white, but it's too late to save the queen, who had given up after realizing she couldn't defeat the king of darkness. So she activated the parent rune self-destructive mode, and sacrificed herself to seal the king of darkness, thereby creating an opportunity for the young boy to kill the king. And this brings the anime to an end. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on another video. Until next time, take care.